First, though, this morning, a somber remembrance. Today marks 1 year since the shooting rampage in Uvalde. Straight ahead, we're live with how the community is coping. But first, we're going to take a moment here to remember the victims.
When I think about it, it hurts. It makes me want to cry.
You can feel just the heaviness in the whole city. It's a small city, but you can feel the heaviness.
Names and faces we'll never forget. Good morning and welcome to our continuing coverage here on KPRC 2+. I'm Owen Conflenti.
And I'm Amy Davis. 1 year ago, 19 children and 2 teachers were preparing to wrap up the school year. Instead, a gunman took their lives at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. Now, in the hours and days and eventually months that followed, we learned more about the massacre and how law enforcement responded. Or didn't respond quick enough, at least. KPRC 2 anchor Sophia Ojeda is live in Uvalde this morning, and she's joining us once again from really right across the street from Robb Elementary School. Sophia.
Good morning, Owen and Amy. Right across the street from Robb Elementary School, you can see the 21 crosses in front of the school. A lot of sadness, a lot of emotions this morning, and 1 year later, it doesn't make it any easier to process, to comprehend, to think about. This morning, we're looking back at the tragedy and the chaos and the confusion from the first 72 hours after the Uvalde school massacre.
I mean, you expect something like this in San Antonio, a bigger city. You know, we were just watching that stuff that happened up in New York, you know, and it's crazy.
But one can only imagine that in those moments when those shots were fired, that those teachers did everything that they could to protect those students.
My teacher went to go and look what was happening outside.
4th grade teacher Eva Morales, she died while trying to protect her students. We know that.
She was a very sweet lady. She was very outgoing. She did a lot for the kids.
He was really funny, and he would like to dance a lot. I'm just gonna miss him.
I left my daughter at that school, and that decision will haunt me for the rest of my life.
The death toll continues to climb after a gunman went on a rampage in Uvalde. We know 19 children and 2 adults have been killed.
First, I want to update you on some information we're learning from our sources. They say that they have learned that the 2 rifles purchased by the gunman were purchased legally, one on May 17th, one on May 20th. They also say that he purchased 375 rounds of ammunition on May 18th.
There are families who are in mourning right now. And the state of Texas is in mourning with them for the reality that these parents are not going to be able to pick up their children.
Our families are being notified, and we are providing services to them as the district should. We do want to keep all their families in their prayers. I hope you do as well. And we also want to respect the privacy of the family.
The first 911 call appears to be 11:32. Mass casualties, children. At 11:43, a school lockdown is announced. 12:23, the scene is still active. The shooter still loose. Parents are told to pick up their kids at the Civic Center.
Parents are asking even more questions about the initial police response. There is video circulating online showing parents arguing with officers about going into the school, pleading with officers to please go into the school.
They ran on episode 4 and just kind of stood there, I think, like waiting for somebody else to get there. And my wife said, why ain't they going to where it's happening?
The initial officers, they received gunfire. They don't make entry initially because of the gunfire they're receiving. But we have officers calling for additional resources.
I think they could have prevented and maybe saved some lives while the kids were still, after it happened and stuff.
We're not here to defend what happened. We're here to report the facts.
The facts are changing 72 hours after the second deadliest school shooting in U.S. history.
The information that I was given turned out in part to be inaccurate, and I'm absolutely livid about that.
The on-scene commander at the time believed that it had transitioned from an active shooter to a barricaded subject. You don't have to have a leader on the scene. Every officer lines up, stacks up, goes and finds where those rounds are being fired at and keeps shooting until the subject is dead, period. There's no excuse for that.
And this incident and the aftermath of the shooting here at Robb Elementary School, it continues to be heart-wrenching. It continues to be devastating. You're taking a look now at the 21 crosses here outside of Robb Elementary School. 19 students, 2 teachers with the crosses with their names on them. Some have flowers, pictures. Others have lays around the crosses. There's notes. And we've only seen fewer than 5 people come up since about 3 o'clock this morning. It's been a very quiet morning here outside of Robb Elementary School. Just police officers, security, and media. This entire block around Robb Elementary School has been closed down. The roads have been barricaded, and the community really asking the public to stay away, to let families here in this community continue to heal, to grieve, to be able to process this, continue their efforts in trying to change legislation when it comes to gun laws and gun violence. So still a lot of emotions as soon as you get here into the small community of Uvalde. The fear, the sadness, the anger, the questions, all of it is palpable here in this small community. Now, as far as Robb Elementary is concerned, there are plans to demolish the school. No student will ever walk into that school as a student or a teacher. They are planning to demolish the school. As far as what is going to go in place of Robb Elementary, that's still up for a decision. There was talks about a playground possibly, but some parents said that they wouldn't think that was a proper replacement or a place to set up there at the site where Robb Elementary would be torn down. And then another option would be that there would be some sort of memorial. But either way, the families, the parents just want something peaceful in place here at Robb Elementary once the school is torn down. There is a plan to build another school just about 2 miles away from Robb Elementary. The HEB family, the Butt family, and HEB, along with a foundation, has been able to raise about $10 million to build that school. And what we're hearing now is that groundbreaking for that new school could begin as early as this summer. Owen, Amy.
All right, thanks a lot, Sophia. And back here in Houston, tonight at Eleanor Tinsley Park, you can attend Healing for Uvalde. Organizers will lead a 30-minute meditation and reflection and a sound bath healing by playing crystal bowls and other instruments. The event starts at 7 p.m. It ends at 8 with a closing circle. All activities will take place on the lawn adjacent to the Now Family Pavilion. That park is located on Allen Parkway.
Now, also tonight, the Bay Area Moms Demand Action is holding a vigil in Seabrook to honor the 21 victims of the Uvalde shooting. So that begins at 7 o'clock this evening. It's at Clear Lake Park. Anyone who goes is asked to meet at the large pavilion, and you're encouraged to wear a red shirt.
Our coverage of the Uvalde anniversary extends to click2houston.com. When you go there, you can see how this tragedy has affected active shooting training at other school districts across the state, and how one Uvalde teacher says the district abandoned him after the shooting. Just visit click2houston.com/Uvalde.